Yo guys, what's up? Let's do our overnight betting preview for tomorrow night's games, Friday, March 17th. There's 8 games on the schedule. Before we get started, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I always post my final plays on game night. Tonight, we're going to do some overnight leans, look at the early numbers. I got a couple of leans right now, a couple of games that I'm looking at. But overall, guys, I did take a quick peek before I started the video. There's a lot of uncertainty on the injury front. There's a lot of important players on some key games that we just don't know their status yet. First game, Philly at Charlotte. Philly, guys, 10-point favorite. I had Philly favored by 10.5. What can I tell you? Philly should go in there, win, and cover this spread. In my opinion right now, guys, Philly's playing the best basketball in the league. And if you look at the standings, guys, they're 46-22. Same amount of losses as Boston, just 2 losses behind Milwaukee. Milwaukee lost tonight to a shorthanded Indiana team at home. That's the NBA for you guys. That's what I'm telling you. Philly tomorrow, they should have won and cover, but you saw what happened tonight to the Bucks. Also, Denver got a scare. They were down early, pretty big. I had Denver in that game, 14.5, minus 14.5. I didn't think I was going to hit it, but they just made this huge run in the fourth quarter. I think they went like on a 26-0 run. You just never know what you're going to get with these teams. There is definitely motivation, though, for the Sixers. The second seed, the first and the second seed, guys, is so important in the Eastern Conference. The third seed is going to be the unlucky one there, because for them, in order to make the finals, they're going to have to go through both the second and the first seed. That's why it's so important, the first and the second position in the East. What can I tell you guys? Like I said, Philly over here should win and cover. It's not an early lean of mine. I doubt I will bet on this game. If anything, I'll probably look at it on the live tomorrow. And if Charlotte gets like an early lead or something, I can get a better number. Maybe that's the only way I would approach this game. But as of now, nothing really going over there. Next game, Golden State at Atlanta. Atlanta's a 1.5-point favorite. Had Atlanta favored by 3. The Warriors, guys, this is the team to talk about in this game. Their woes on the road continued. They were in LA just the other night. They were competitive for most of the game, but they just can't play any defense, guys. On the road now, they are just 7-27 on the season. 7-27. This line, guys, obviously is very, very strange, especially if you take into account that Draymond Green, he got his 16th technical foul. He's going to be suspended. He's not going to be playing tomorrow. And from what I saw in the injury report, Steph Curry, that went crazy against the Clippers, he scored 50. He's listed as questionable tomorrow with a thumb issue. I'm sure he'll play, or else there's no way this line would have been like this. That's why I had Atlanta favored by 3. Atlanta, guys, even in their last game, they played against the Timberwolves. Coming back from a road trip, they were so flat. They looked so bad. Got blown out. Just a disaster of a game. Will that carry over? That's yet to be seen. It is scary to bet against the Warriors because they are the defending champs, and you never know when they could bust out of that funk. But guys, if you look at the facts, everything points to an Atlanta a win in this game. I doubt this line's going to be like this tomorrow, the 1.5. When people start getting a grasp on what's going on with Draymond Green being out. They're already short on bodies, guys. Their bench is depleted this year. Andrew Wiggins is not with the team, a very important player for them. From the sounds of it, he's not going to be coming back for the rest of the season. It sounds like he's got a very serious personal issue. The Warriors, guys, their future looks a little dark to me. I am leaning actually with Atlanta in this game. Next game, Washington at Cleveland. Cleveland, 6.5-point favorite. Cleveland favored by 7. Line is fairly accurate. Cleveland in their last game lost to the Sixers. They actually got up big early in the third quarter, but Philly just clamped down, and Joel Embiid took over. James Harden had a monster game. Not much Cleveland could have done. They were on the second night of a back-to-back. The reason, guys, this line I think is a little low is Washington does have a lot of motivation. They are 32-37. They're 10th in the East, with the Pacers now just a half game behind them, along with the Bulls. Very, very competitive in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland looks like they don't have that much motivation. They're kind of stuck in no man's land. They're fourth in the East, with the difference between them and the third place Sixers at 4 games, and the fifth place Knicks 2.5 games. Washington obviously needs this game a little more than Cleveland. Can I back the Wizards the way they've been playing? I don't think so. We're going to have to look at also Kyle Kuzma's status. He missed their last game against the Pistons. From what I see over here, the injury report looks clean. They're probably going to be at full strength. Washington, guys, definitely has the motivation in this game. Tough bet to bet on, though. Tough game. No lean on that one. Even though if I had to pick a side, probably go with Washington. Take the points with Washington. Next game, we have Memphis at San Antonio. Memphis a 7.5-point favorite. I had Memphis also favored by 7.5. Line is accurate. The Grizzlies got blown out in Miami. Road woes continue for them. They were on a winning streak. Their first loss in how many games? 4 games. They have gone 3-4. 3 wins out of their last 4. The Spurs have actually won a couple straight. Took advantage of. No, actually, what am I saying? They lost their last game to Dallas. What a crazy ass game that was with Dallas. They lost that game. They went to overtime, lost it 137-128. Tomorrow, guys, Memphis obviously the clear-cut favorite here, but it's tough to bet against the Spurs. You just never know what you're going to get with them. Memphis should go in there and get the job done, though. Next game, the Pelicans at Houston. Pelicans 6-point favorites. I had New Orleans favored by 5. This is a point higher than my estimate. New Orleans, another team with a lot of motivation. They are in that fight for a play-in spot. Their last game, they were playing with the Lakers at home, got blown off from start to finish. Brandon Ingram came back in that game, but it was just a no contest. The Lakers just went buck wild on them. Anthony Davis had a monster game. Pelicans were out of it from the start. Houston has won a couple straight, guys. The Houston Rockets, 2 straight games. 17-52 now on the season. After getting that big win against the Celtics, it looks like their confidence got up, and they doubled up those wins in their last game against the Lakers. Lakers were playing without Anthony Davis. We're on the second night of back-to-back, but still, guys, very, very quality W for the Rockets. It's very tough, guys, to bet on the Pelicans in this game. The line is this high just because of the motivation factor. The Pelicans, though, have been extremely disappointing. If I had to go with a side here, guys, I think a lot of people will be jumping on the Rockets in this game, and they very well could cover and continue this streak. But I'd probably roll with the Pelicans if I had to pick a side in this game. Next game, Minnesota at Chicago. Chicago 3-point favorites. I had Chicago favored by 2. There's a point higher than my estimate. The Bulls were in a very competitive game, and their last one against the Sacramento Kings at home. They needed that game, guys. They were down 4 with just a couple seconds left, and DeMar DeRozan hit a 3, got fouled. They tied the game out. Just to have Darren Fox hit a 3 at the buzzer and just drive that stake through their heart. That was just an absolute bummer for them. 31-37, they've dropped to 12th. Now with Indiana's win tonight, they're just percentage points behind the Pacers. This is a game that they really, really need. If you look at Washington, that has a tough game at Cleveland. They really need tonight's game to jump up in the standings. The reason I think for this -3, otherwise I don't think Chicago is 3 points better than the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are currently in the 7th spot, 35-35, in a very competitive Western Conference. They need this game also. They might be in 7th, guys, but like I said, the 12th place Pelicans have 36 losses. It's just nothing. Just one small losing streak for any of these teams will pretty much get them out of the play-in tournament. Just look at the Blazers. The Blazers have lost 4 straight. Just when they were in the play-in spots, now have dropped 2.5 games out. They've dropped to 13th. So an important game for both teams. If I had to lean anyway, guys, I'd go with the superior team, in my opinion, is the Minnesota Timberwolves over here with the +3. Next game, Boston at Portland. Portland is off the board for a lot of at a lot of sites. I did see a -4 for Boston somewhere. That's why I'm going with this number. The reason it's off the board, Jason Tatum's listed as questionable. He dunked on who did he dunk on? He dunked on Rudy Gobert, got fouled and landed on his hip. It looked pretty bad. I'm sure he's feeling it there. Bruised hips, not easy to play. Right away, the way he fell, guys, that was a pretty bad fall. And also Portland. We also see Portland played in their last game without Jeremy Grant. He's listed as questionable for tomorrow. A very important player for Portland. Like I mentioned in a lot of my earlier videos, he's not. The Blazers don't have much depth. They need Jeremy Grant, Lillard, and Anthony Simons to be playing in order to have a shot against anybody. Things don't look too good though for the Blazers. I don't think they're going to make it to the play-in tournament, even though they're not too far behind. Things are not looking very well. They lost to the Knicks at home. They were up for the majority of that game, but at the end they just fell apart. Knicks took advantage, ended up winning that game by 16. Guys, in this game, I can't really come up with any predictions if we don't know Jason Tatum's status, along with Jeremy Grant's. But I do think Boston should win this game. I don't know about the handicap, but a money line bet, I'd probably go with that. Even if Tatum doesn't play, I think Boston has just too many weapons for the Blazers. And also, this game is extremely important for the Celtics. Like I mentioned, they are in a battle for one of the top positions in the Eastern Conference with the Bucks and the Sixers. I'm sure they want to capitalize on that loss that the Bucks had tonight to the Pacers. Also, Philly's is going to be in action also, and they have a rather easy game, it looks like, with the Hornets. So Boston's going to have to keep up. They're going to need this game tomorrow. I'm leaning with the play with Boston and the money line. And the last game of the night, guys, Dallas at the Lakers. Lakers are currently 5-point favorites. I had them by 3.5. Can't really talk much about this game, guys, especially with the way the injury report looks for Dallas. If Kyrie Irving at least doesn't come back, because Doncic is ruled out, he's not going to be playing tomorrow. If Kyrie Irving doesn't come back and play at least, Dallas I don't think has any chance in this game. Anthony Davis will be back after getting his rest day. That loss against Houston, he should be playing against tomorrow. Lakers guys are the favorites, but this line's going to be all over the place tomorrow until we get confirmation about Dallas's players. So anyways, guys, these are the games for tomorrow, the early looks. My leans, guys, as of now are with Boston on a money line and Atlanta with the -1.5. These are my two leans for tomorrow. Still very early, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, guys, the injury report is stacked. We don't know who's going to be in and who's going to be out for a majority of these games. Tomorrow, I will definitely, when I get all the info, because it looks like we do have a lot of interesting matchups, I will definitely have something for you. Just remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And anyways, guys, that's what I have for you guys tonight on these early looks. Have a good rest, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.